sound takes the night. Swing by the mic, chaos to tame. Blow by blow, a ruthless game. Knockout facts, no place for shame. Basement breakdowns, the name. Feel the rumble, floor shake below. MMA heat, the punches flow. Brace yourself for the latest show. Basement breakdown, let it go.
Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. I am coming at you on a Saturday night, a little late, after Luke Rockhold got absolutely flatlined by Darren Till in the main event for Misfits Boxing. There hasn't been too much. Actually, that's not true. There's been a lot of mixed martial arts this week. There was Dirty Boxing, free on YouTube on Friday. There's also the CJI, the Craig Jones Invitational, today and tomorrow. 30th and 31st, which is jiu-jitsu. So there's a lot of stuff, actually. In Dirty Boxing, Brian Battle fought, who was recently released by the UFC for not being able to make weight, against Nursulon Rizhabayev, and he won against a 3-9 dude. That was pretty boring. And then I think Jarizia Rosenstrike beat somebody in the main event to receive some square title. The Dirty Boxing title looked fucking hilarious. But yeah, I feel like we've had some fun this weekend. Dillon Danis submitted whoever by whatever in the first like 16 seconds of the fight. He got cracked also quickly, and then he called out Islam Makhachev. My God. Tony Ferguson beat Salt Papi. I don't know how I feel about the stoppage. I feel like, I mean, after the second round, you could tell Salt Papi was getting a little tired, and Tony was, you know, a little less tired. I just feel like there was no standing 8 count or really anything, and he was covering up. But, you know, for the Tony Ferguson fans out there, I mean, the title run starts now. Just kidding. All right. It is the end of the summer, and we have some fight announcements that I have not addressed on my channel. So let's talk about them very briefly. We start off, and all of these fight announcements, which were made a couple days ago by Dana White, off of his Nintendo DSi, from what it looks like. I don't know what the fuck he was filming on, but
just about to take off here from Washington D.C. We had the meeting at the White House.
He's got to upgrade that. Yeah, we start off with Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista, October 25th, UFC 321. Yeah. Mario Bautista's coming off of a win against Papi Mix, who came over from another federation. He was not favored in that fight. Mario Bautista is on a pretty good win streak. I hate him because of what he did to Jose Aldo, but, you know, he had a masterclass against Papi Mix last time. Fun fight. And then Umar Nurmagomedov most recently fought Merab Dvalishvili for the title, and he won the first 2 rounds, dropped the last 3. He's beat Corey Sandhagen, which is his most, you know, prominent win in the UFC, and they've given him Mario Bautista. This is a fight that was rumored, so we kind of knew this was going to happen. Yeah, I think I lean more towards Umar Nurmagomedov in this fight, and I don't think Mario Bautista will be shooting many takedowns. Having that been said, we move on. Let's talk about the big one. Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. I think besides Khamzat Chimaev versus Dricus du Plessis, this is like it's super hype. It's like the fight of the year. It's like everyone's kind of looking forward towards this fight. You have Islam Makhachev isn't undefeated, but he's on quite a streak. Jack Till Maddalena is undefeated. Recently beat Bilal Bahamed. I believe Jack was an underdog in the fight against Bilal. Brought in Craig Jones for his camp. He's got good boxing. Won a unanimous decision. Good bottom game. I really like Jack Till Maddalena. He said if he was gonna die, or if he wants to be cremated and his ashes to be snorted by Craig Jones. And to be fair, that is that makes sense. Islam obviously fought Renato Moicano on short notice, being that Arman Sarukian hurt his back 24 hours, or like not even, whatever, before.
I broke my back.
What do you mean by that?
My back is broken.
Yeah, 24 hours before their fight, which was unfortunate. Before that, he had beat Dustin Poirier. He's beat the likes of, Alexander Volkanovski, Charles Oliveira, Bobby Green, Thiago Moises, Glibson Tebow, all the boys, Dan Hooker. But yeah, it's going to be a crazy fight. We'll see how We'll see how, Islam obviously walks around heavier than 155. We see his weight cuts. He's not going to be needing an IV for this one. Jack's powerful. I think I, for some reason, lean more towards him. I've made some edits about him. I made one that took a while where he shows him I think TKOing Islam. But I like Jack Della Maddalena. Maybe he'll be able to stuff the takedowns. He's got good takedown defense. I like his boxing. We'll see, but it is sure to be a banger, and we're all going to be looking forward to it and talking about it leading up to. The next fight is...
Smell shame.
Well, I have to talk about it. Girandiroba faces Mackenzie Dern for the second time. I love looking at Girandiroba. Can't tell whether she's looking at me or you guys, but she is looking at a World Strawweight Championship because I think she'll probably beat Mackenzie Dern, similar to the way that she beat her last time. Mackenzie Dern is on a 2-fight win streak, I think, against Ribas and Lupi Godinez. Very close fight. Girandiroba has also beat Lupi Godinez, but I know that Mackenzie Dern lost a mixed decision to Xiao Zhaonan, which Girandiroba recently disposed of her. I feel like her ground game is just so good. And which will bring us to our next fight, this title fight's happening because Zhang Weili is moving up to fight in a super fight, but we're not talking about that yet. I like Mackenzie Dern. She's got a fat ass. I feel like Girandiroba will probably, more than likely, be able to get this done via decision. Could be a submission, but I see her taking rounds off of Mackenzie Dern via control. Mackenzie Dern's good on the feet, but she leaves a lot of openings for takedowns. I think Girandiroba will make decently light work of Mackenzie Dern. Bobby Green's favorite female fighter. We move up. Valentina Shevchenko takes on Weili Zhang for the World Flyweight Championship. This is a banger. Super fired up. They finally made this fight. We've been asking for it for a bit, but they've built these two women up very well. Zhang Weili recently took on Patchy Mix's wife, who was favorited, I believe, which was crazy, which is why I took Zhang Weili in that fight, and I made quite a pretty penny off of her. I don't know why she was, maybe because of the takedowns. Anyways, I think she lost the first round. But yeah, Weili Zhang, very impressive record. She's had some bangers of fights. She moves up to fight Valentina Shevchenko. She's coming off of that win against Manon Fiorot. She had a nice trilogy with Alexa Grasso. She has fights with Amanda Nunes. I would argue that Valentina Shevchenko might be the second best female mixed martial artist of all time. I also think she could have won that second Amanda Nunes fight. It was very close. You guys can let me know what you think about that. Valentina Shevchenko versus Weili Zhang for UFC 322 is a banger. That'll be, I believe, the co-main event to Jack Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev, which is also UFC 322. Super fun. really hyped. I think Valentina Shevchenko will be able to probably get it done against Weili Zhang. She's just got a very, very all-around style. Now, Zhang Weili has the ability to sting Valentina Shevchenko on the feet, but, you know, Valentina Shevchenko is going to have a lot of advantages in this fight, being the size, I think the skill advantage. I reference a lot of those fights with Valentina Shevchenko, Weili Zhang and Rose Namajunas. Very close. Sorry for the disruption, a little technical difficulty. As I was saying, I think Valentina Shevchenko will probably be able to get it done versus Weili Zhang. But I am very excited for the matchup. And as far as chick fights, this is one that I am really excited to break down. But that won't be, I believe, until November, UFC 322. This brings us to our next matchup. And I saved the second best for last because there's one more after. For UFC 322, we have Carlos Prates taking on the former welterweight champion, Leon Rocky Edwards. I think this is a banger of a fight, guys. I, for some reason, lead more towards Carlos Prates. Leon Edwards is coming off of a loss to Sean Brady. He also fought Bilal Muhammad for the title. And, I picked him against Sean Brady and he didn't look too good. Ended up getting submitted, which was, I believe, the first time he's ever been submitted. This will be a nice kickboxing match. I think these guys will more or less stay on the feet. I don't know if Edwards will get hurt and then try and go for a takedown or something, but I think this will be a really fun striking match. I don't lean towards Leon Edwards. Carlos Prates has had spectacular fights. The only time he's lost was short notice to Ian Gary in a fight where closer to the end of the fight, he did a lot better. He's very close to getting Ian Gary out of there. Took out Jeff Neal most recently, and then very recently knocked him out, spinning back elbow. First time Jeff Neal's been knocked out. I think he probably will be able to knock out Leon Edwards. That's not my official prediction, but it's definitely what I lean towards. I think it'll be a really fun fight, and I'm really excited for it. UFC 322 is looking awesome. All right, also guys, it's getting a little cold here. I live in Canada, and I've noticed the weather start to it's not as hot. The leaves are changing color, and before you know it, we'll see some snow on the ground. But it's all right. I got MMA to keep me warm. Last but not least, UFC Fight Night, Perth Ulberg versus Reyes. Heavyweight matchup, Justin Tafa takes on Louis Sutherland. How the fuck does Justin Tafa keep getting fights? I do not know, but I obviously had to save the best for last. I'd like to make a shout out to the gambling phenom, whose picks I used for the Championship 1 event in Lumpini. I believe it was 122. 6 for 8 overall on picks. Lock hit. Some good underdogs. I think one of the fights was a bit of a robbery, which is why we were 7 for 8. But thank you so much to the gambling phenom. I will be sure to feature your picks on my channel a lot in the future. Anyways, guys, I hope everyone is having a great weekend, and you should turn in CJI tomorrow if you like jiu-jitsu. Basement Breakdown out.